There's a famous story told about the Kotzker Rebbe. When he was just a young child, he asked his father, "Where's God?" His father responded with the answer that many of us would probably give: God is somewhere. At first glance, that seems like the perfect answer, but the young Kotzker Rebbe was not satisfied. We'll come back to this response in just a moment, but the question itself feels especially appropriate this week. We read Parashat Vaetchanan immediately after Tisha B'Av, our annual day of mourning and remembrance. Tisha B'Av forces us to confront some of the most painful chapters of Jewish history: the destruction of the first and second temples, exile, persecution, and so many other tragedies that have shaped our people. It's a day that we often are left asking difficult questions, such as where is God in the moment of chaos, calamity, and disaster? Where is God when the world feels broken? Where is God when our lives feel shattered? And this week's Torah portion, Moses addresses a generation preparing to enter into the land of Israel. And he warns them that there may come a day when they lose their way, when they turn towards idols, and ultimately find themselves scattered among the nations. It's a sobering vision of exile and of spiritual distance. Moses describes a people who have been uprooted from their homeland and surrounded by the false gods made of wood and stone. And then immediately after painting that bleak picture, Moses offers this remarkable promise. He says, "Vikashtem misham et Adonai Elohecha umatzata." From there you will seek the eternal God, and there you will find God, if you only search with all of your heart and with all of your soul. The Baal Shem Tov, the founder of the Hasidic movement, he pays close attention to the single word in that verse, misham, from there. It is especially and specifically from there that he teaches that God can be found, not only from the places of strength and certainty and spiritual confidence, not only from the moments when life is going exactly as the way in which we planned and hoped for. Rather, it's from there, exile, disappointment, from grief, and from the places where we feel most distant, that we can discover God's presence. The Baal Shem Tov also explains that when a person searches sincerely from the depths of their heart, God is already waiting to be found. We don't need to be great scholars or spiritual giants. We do not need to have all the answers. We simply need to begin the search. As Moses promises, Umatzata, and you will find God. And perhaps that's the deeper message of Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of comfort immediately following Tisha B'Av. This Shabbat of comfort is offered not that the suffering makes sense. It is not that every question is answered or every wound is healed. Rather, the comfort is knowing that even when we feel far from God, God is not far from us. Even after destruction, after heartbreak, and after moments where faith feels difficult, the possibility of connection remains. And so now we return to the young Kotzker Rebbe. After his father told him that God is everywhere, the child replied, "No, God is only where you let God in." Perhaps that is what Moshe is teaching us this week. The question is not whether God is present. The question is whether we are willing to seek, whether we are willing to open our hearts, whether we are willing to make room for God's presence in our lives. Even from there, and especially from there, as we move through Tisha B'Av into Shabbat Nachamu, may we find comfort in knowing that no place is too distant, no heart is too broken, and no moment is too dark to begin searching. For if we seek God with all our heart, all of our soul, Moses assures us that we will find God. Shabbat Shalom, and see you in Shul.